Sub-Zero. Scorpion. Fight! Excellent! Raiden, Scorpion. Fight! Raiden, Sub-Zero. Finish him. Raiden wins. Fatality. Finish him! Finish him! Raiden wins. Fatality. Finish him! Raiden wins. Fatality. Johnny Cage. Raiden. Finish him. Johnny Cage win. Fatality. Finish him. Johnny Cage win. Fatality. Scorpion, Liu Kang. Finish him. Scorpion, win. Fatality. Finish him. Scorpion, win. Fatality. Liu Kang. Scorpion. Finish him. Liu Kang, win. Fatality. Finish him. Liu Kang, win. Fatality. Sonya. Kano. Sonya wins. Fatality. Finish him. Sonya wins. Fatality. Kano. Johnny Cage. Finish him. Kano wins. Fatality. Finish him. Kano wins. Fatality. Finish him. Kano wins. Fatality. Sub-Zero. Liu Kang. Finish him. Sub-Zero win. Fatality. Finish him. Finish him. Sub-Zero win. Fatality. Finish him. Sub-Zero win. Fatality. Shang Tsung. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Fatality. Finish him. 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 Friendship. Finish him. Babality. Finish him. Johnny Cage. Finish him. Finish him. Kitana wins. Fatality. Finish him. Kitana wins. Friendship. Friendship? Finish him. Kitana wins. Babality. Finish him. Kitana wins. Fatality. Shang Tsung. Raiden. Finish him. Shang Tsung wins. Fatality. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Shang Tsung wins. Friendship. Friendship? Finish him. Babality. Sub-Zero, Reptile. Finish him. Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Babality.
Hey, have you heard of this game, Mortal Kombat?
What is
The team on Mortal Kombat 1 was 4 of us.
My name is Ed Boone. I'm co-designer and programmer.
My name's Dan Ford, and I do sounds and music.
John Vogel, background special effects.
John Tobias, and co-designer and lead artist.
There was other sort of support staff, but that had to do more with like the cabinet and the wiring.
A team being composed of, I think, 4, 5, 6 people was not uncommon.
you were in one of two categories, programmer or artist, and that was basically it. Everything felt like, being in a rock band or something, just a very few number of guys. He's guitar, he's drum, he's, we all had our own jobs to do, and we'd fight with each other, and we'd hang out with each other and go see movies with each other and stuff. And
Certainly when I started working on Smash TV, it was myself, Mark Turmel, and I think there was maybe one other programmer at the time, and then Eugene Jarvis eventually came on.
Partly it was just the simplicity of the games of that era. 8-bit, pixel art, that a lot of the animation was just done with graph paper. Say Defender, all the animations of that game could be done in a week.
a lot of people think that, somebody up high says you're going to make a fighting game and you're going to call it Mortal Kombat and it's going to look like this, and then we go, okay, and do it. That's not how it worked at all.
It's a bit of the Wild West. There wasn't rules. There wasn't any, well, this is how you make a video game. Everybody made it differently. And as long as cool new stuff was showing up on your screen every once in a while, management would, peek their head in. Oh, you got fatalities going. Good job. And then they'd leave and you just continue with it.
It was so pure, you didn't have to, have a committee meeting every time you wanted to add a feature. And
Things were so loose back then, there wasn't really a workflow. It was like, hey, we need to get something done. Just do it.
it was just like, yeah, let's try this out, and see if it works.
And I think maybe a part of it was also that I wasn't conscious of might have been to keep costs down. I know what my salary was at the time. I don't know what Ed's salary was, but I have to believe that the development of MK in terms of the cost of us had to have been, I don't know, not much. And I remember at the end of my first year working at Midway, I was doing my taxes. My dad was helping me do my taxes. When I started at Williams, I was making $19,000 a year. He knew the hours I was putting in, and we did the math, and I was making probably $2 an hour is what I was making working at Williams, and I didn't care. I loved the work so much.
I know it's not a popular topic, but like, the overnighters and the, going out for breakfast, nobody told us to do that. Nobody said, stay till midnight tonight. If anything, they were, you guys are burning yourselves out and you gotta take it easy or something, so.
because of the schedules and because of how few people there were, and we were all playing multiple roles or multiple hats, that there was just too much work. And it wasn't like we were being made to do this. It was an art, it was a craft, and it was a labor of love. So we were so passionate that we spent, all of our waking hours and our sleeping hours in the studio.
Some people look back and they go, oh, that was abuse or something like that. It's like, no, we were guys in our 20s who were motivated to do something cool. You were working on Liu Kang's, flying kick, and it was feeling good, and you wanted to keep perfecting it. And it was my obsession. It was like being paid to do a hobby. If a band is up all night learning a song, they want to nail it. And it's the exact same thing. It's completely self-motivated.
Back then, it was nothing but fun. It was just, working there was just hilarious. The secret sauce was basically we were just a bunch of knuckleheads doing whatever we wanted, and we were happy.
It's funny, when I look back at Mortal Kombat, what I wouldn't share with folks that I worked with was, hey, I do this for free.
4 people can make an entire game.
Ed Boon and John Tobias were young, they were hungry.
It's a bit of the Wild West. There wasn't rules.
They were working on projects at Midway that they found exciting, but when you're a creative person, eventually you're going to want to branch out and do your own thing.
John and I were talking about a game called Street Fighter. We were really kind of fixated on the idea of doing a photorealistic Van Damme fighting game.
Well, the visuals were incredible. It's digitized, it's real people.
That's great. You're seeing those 2 big characters on the screen. I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever.
After that game came out, graphics just kept taking leaps and leaps on top of each other.
There was so much to explore, and you had no idea of what you were still missing. And not having the internet at the time to go to, it made it very social.
When I first got a chance to see a fatality for the first time, I lost my mind. I didn't know that was allowed in a video game.
It was really the first mainstream hyper-violent game.
The way the local news would cover it was, can you imagine if Pac-Man could kill?
When a player wins, the so-called death sequence begins. The game narrator instructs the player to finish his opponent.
Certainly, the game being ported to the home kind of changed things a little bit.
That was a shocker to the moms and dads of suburbia.
The very idea that like Mortal Kombat was going to destroy society or the fabric of our youth was always ridiculous. If it was just like, hey, it's a cool fighting game and you can chop off heads, like we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
These games would just start showing up at arcades, copying Mortal Kombat. Bloodstorm, Time Killers, Tattoo Assassins. These games played terribly.
It was more than blood, more than guts, more than even a fighting game.
They really hit just like a gold mine.
Back then, it was kind of like you make a game, you hope it's a success, and you move on to the next game. And if it is a success, cool. You move on to the next game and you do something else, right?
When the game was done, certainly in my head, there was 10 things that I would have done differently.
And so that was the first time that I thought, oh, okay, I guess we're signed up for a sequel. The hardware that we were working on was improving. I think if you look at MK2 next to MK1, you notice the difference in terms of the aesthetics.
Mortal Kombat 2 built on 1, 3 built on 2.
The run button, oh my God. Oh my God. Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 were still great games, but they felt so much slower that it was hard to go back.
They play so differently, but the fact that they're so different is what's cool. Mortal Kombat 4 was like reset again.
The game had started getting a little bigger, going into 3D for the first time. I was super excited about it.
Mortal Kombat going 3D, I think, it makes sense when you look at where technology was going at the time.
People forget how tough the transition was to go from 2D to 3D for so many teams.
The team was 4, and then it was 5 for MK2. I think it was like 7 for MK3, 15 for MK4, and each game just grew. And once we got into doing directly to the home, or it was writing to a DVD or CD, it takes a huge team.
Like, they experimented and did all this different stuff with Mortal Kombat.
We're trying to up the game, like we're trying to come up with something that, progresses the game.
This was over the course of, 20, 25 years.
I think back to a conversation I had with an uncle of mine. He asked me, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, hey, I want to draw Spider-Man. And he said, well, somebody's already drawn Spider-Man. You got to make up your own thing. And I remember thinking to myself, yeah, I guess I got to make up my own thing. And Mortal Kombat was that thing. I mean, I think that it's, I don't know that I'll ever create something that resonates the way that Mortal Kombat did. That's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Ed, John Tobias, and, a handful of other guys just did a great job. That's it.
Mortal Kombat is actually the best-selling fighting game franchise in the world. It's always been my favorite fighting game.
When Mortal Kombat came out, it was like, oh, this is the pinnacle of gaming.
It changed the way the marketing happened. It changed the ways that people thought about violence.
It caused the industry to grow on so many levels.
It brought in the shock, awe, and humor that I think has represented the pure definition of video game entertainment.
There's a lot of games lately that would rather show you that they're art. It almost seems like they're performing. It's like me, please tell me I'm acceptable, tell me I'm good enough. And Mortal Kombat is just like garage band and sort of American. It's like, go fuck yourself. That's what I love about it. And I have to assume there's lots of us that love that.
You have players who are really wrapped up in the lore and the story and all of that in a way that, like, most other fighting games never really delved into.
Are you sure you're a grandmaster? Interesting.
Kung Lao, over here! It's why the games still have these, amazingly crafted story modes to this day.
We must fight for each other, Baraka, not with each other.
Got anyone suspicious? He said as much to my face.
Aid us, and I'll make sure you sit at Kotal's table.
It's this giant soap opera built on top of this super, super fun fighting game. It really captured this feeling of mystery and magic that you get from old kung fu films.
And it's that curiosity, I think, that drives people to continue playing Mortal Kombat, and that has helped it remain a pillar of popular culture today.
I am not yet defeated.
Yes, you are.
Temple of Kataravala, take 39, tails played. That's a wrap.
They're making the fourth movie now, right? Like how many video game franchises have 4 movies made out of them?
And I really don't think about it because I think about it as just a game, but no, it brings people together.
And it's created such a mass community.
Their fan base is one of the most loyal fan bases that I've ever seen in all of gaming.
It will always be the game that I think was my first love and continues to be that. I'm an MK fan for life.
I would hope that, 100 years from now, people are still talking about Mortal Kombat and, Finish Him is still a thing.
There's such a fervent base of fans for it. So if they don't get sick of it, we're gonna still make it.
I think if that could be the legacy of Mortal Kombat, that it's just this evergreen thing that will always be with us, I think I'd be very happy.
And whether it's spin-offs or reboots or, continuing the story, I'd love it if Mortal Kombat became a forever franchise like DC or Marvel or Star Wars, long after we're done working on our games, if it was something that everybody, still wanted. Game over.